The Battle of Crestwood Lane. It started with a single shout that echoed across the manicured lawns of Crestwood Lane, a quiet suburban enclave in Chesapeake, Virginia. There's a woman in a military costume scaring the neighborhood. The voice belonged to Pamela Hensley, the self-appointed queen of the Crestwood Homeowners Association. By the time 3 police cars screeched into the cul-de-sac, my wife, Captain Laura Bennett, stood calmly in her Navy service uniform, holding a box marked Classified Naval Archives. Pamela flailed her arms as if she'd just spotted a fugitive, oblivious to the fact that the woman she was accusing was a decorated Navy captain with 3 deployments and a Bronze Star. Laura and I had just moved into Crestwood Lane, a neighborhood where picket fences hid more drama than a soap opera. Laura, a 25-year veteran, had been reassigned to Naval Station Norfolk after leading counter-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden. She was unflappable, the kind of person who could stare down a storm at sea or a bureaucratic nightmare with equal calm. I, Tom Bennett, was a retired accountant, more comfortable with spreadsheets than neighborhood politics. We were unloading boxes, dusty and tired, when Pamela marched over, clipboard in hand, her auburn hair teased into a helmet of curls. "You'll need to clear any disruptions with me," she declared, eyeing Laura's uniform like it was a Halloween costume. "Are you with some kind of theater group?" Laura, wiping sweat from her brow, replied evenly, "No, ma'am. I'm a Navy captain. That should have ended it." But Pamela, undeterred, snapped, "We don't allow military get-ups here. It's intimidating, and our bylaws prohibit unsanctioned displays." I nearly dropped a lamp. Laura, unfazed, explained she was reporting to base after unpacking. Pamela scoffed, "If you don't change, I'll call the authorities." 10 minutes later, sirens wailed. Pamela waved the police over, shrieking, "That's the imposter." The lead officer, a grizzled man with a buzz cut, approached Laura cautiously. "ID, please, ma'am." Laura handed over her credentials. The officer's eyes widened. "Captain Bennett, Naval Intelligence." He glanced at Pamela, whose smug grin faltered. Another car, this one with a Navy insignia, pulled up. Pamela stammered, "I want her arrested for impersonating an official." Laura, suppressing a smile, said, "The only thing I've attacked today is packing tape." The officer, now holding Laura's ID, nodded. "Captain, thank you for your service. Any issues we can help with?" Laura shook her head. "Just trying to settle in before dark, but my uniforms caused a crisis." The police turned to Pamela, their tone sharp. "Ma'am, filing a false report against a military officer is serious." Pamela blinked, muttering, "I didn't know she was real." I couldn't resist. "That's the problem. You didn't bother to check." Neighbors peeked from their windows, phones out, whispering. One murmured, "Is she the one who led that rescue mission off Somalia?" Pamela wasn't done. As we carried boxes inside, she huffed, "I'm filing an HOA complaint. Military or not, you're not above our rules." I laughed. "Lady, she outranks your entire street. She commands fleets, not flower beds." Laura shot me a look half amused, half warning. That night, as we unpacked, Laura sipped water and chuckled. "First day, and I'm already a felon." I handed her a towel. "You've faced worse." She nodded, but her eyes were distant. Laura had missed anniversaries, dodged missiles, and buried comrades. Yet here, in her driveway, she was a villain for wearing her uniform. The next morning, Pamela was back, glaring from across the street like a hawk. By noon, she'd slapped a citation on our door. Our small Navy flag violated HOA rules. "No unapproved symbols," it read. Laura, stretching for her run, glanced at it. "There's a federal law protecting military flags. HOAs can't override it." Pamela, undeterred, snapped, "We don't recognize that here. $50 a day until it's gone." She stormed off. I handed Laura coffee. "This is war, isn't it?" Laura smirked. "I've faced real tyrants." "She's just loud." Pamela's attacks escalated. Notices piled up. Our moving truck was too noisy. Laura's workout gear was aggressive. Our cat's meow disturbed seniors. Fines topped $400. Laura, ever methodical, filed each paper in a folder labeled HOA nonsense. Neighbors started reaching out. A man named George, a retired mechanic, texted, "Pamela's been a bully forever. You're the first to push back. I'm with you." Others were curious. asking if Laura was the officer who'd coordinated hurricane relief in the Carolinas. One evening, we took a walk through the neighborhood. Pamela's influence was everywhere, signs reading, "Preserve our peace," dotted lawns. But then we saw a Marine Corps emblem in a yard. A woman, Ellen, a retired colonel, stepped out. "Pamela, find me for a flag on Veterans Day. Paid it in nickels. She's hated me since." She grinned. "You're shaking things up." That night, a note appeared on our porch. "You're not alone. Stay strong." A Navy Challenge coin was taped to it. Laura held it, her jaw tight. "She's trying to make me feel like I don't belong," she said. "But people like we why this country stands." Pamela went nuclear. A community bulletin accused us of militarizing Crestwood Lane, warning of surveillance risks. She held a public meeting, railing against uniformed intimidation. Most residents listened politely, but George stood up. "Pamela, are you scared of a flag or just mad someone's got more spine than you?" Scattered applause followed. Pamela faltered. People drifted away, some stopping by our house to shake Laura's hand. A widow offered to host a dinner for veterans. The tide was turning. Then came the black SUV. Pamela had told neighbors we were running a military outpost. 2 DoD agents arrived, asking about unauthorized communications equipment. Laura invited them in, showed her orders, and offered tea. One agent laughed. "This is the cleanest op we've seen. Someone's got a grudge." The visit triggered an HOA legal review. A letter warned that further false reports could expose the board to lawsuits. A local reporter, tipped off by a base contact, asked Laura for an interview. She hesitated but agreed, speaking not about Pamela but about the challenges veterans face in civilian life. The story aired, and neighbors flooded our yard with cards and pies. One note read, "I'm sorry I stayed quiet. Thank you for your service." Pamela, enraged, filed a complaint, claiming Laura's interview defamed the community. The board, fed up, called a private review of her leadership. George revealed Pamela's history, finding a Latino family for a bilingual sign, harassing a veteran for a wheelchair ramp, targeting a teacher for unapproved garden colors. The board invited Laura to speak. She brought every citation, the DoD report, and the bulletin. When asked what she wanted, she said, "Not revenge. Respect for me and every military family here." The board was stunned. Pamela's final act was a manic email blast. The threat within, uniformed manipulation. It backfired. 35 residents petitioned for her removal, exceeding the required 25. At the emergency meeting, Pamela ranted about military conspiracies. Laura, in dress blues, spoke calmly, detailing the harassment. Neighbors shared their own stories, fines for holiday lights, threats over kids' toys. The vote was unanimous. Pamela was out. She left silently, her reign over. Weeks later, Crestwood Lane felt alive. George, the new president, voided Pamela's fines. The board rewrote the charter, protecting military displays and banning harassment. Laura was promoted to captain, and neighbors threw a block party with a cake shaped like a destroyer. The mayor presented a service plaque. Pamela sold her house to a retired Army general who raised a massive flag. No one blinked. One evening, Laura and I sat on our deck. "I never thought I'd fight a war in suburbia," she said. I nodded. "You didn't just win. You changed this place." Pamela vanished from Crestwood Lane, her power gone. Laura didn't gloat. She'd proven that quiet strength trumps loud tyranny. Crestwood Lane was no longer a battleground, it was home. What do you think about Pamela's actions and Laura's response? Have you faced bullies or injustice in your community? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we confront power and stand for fairness.